You're watching the Tesla Life. Today, we'll discuss the new lower price Model Y and 3, FSD 14, turn signal stocks, and more on the Tesla Life number 432, starting now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tesla Life number 432. It is, what is it today? Man, it's
the 8th of October.
Oh, it's October. That's right. That's what the 10 is in there for.
Yes.
October 8th, 2025.
Which, ironically, Oct means 8, so I'm totally confused.
And with us, as always, Mr. Patrick Connor joins us from the West Coast. How are you today, sir?
Hello, I'm good. Hello, Tesla Nation. Should be a fun show.
Very good. Very good. Also with us, as normal, from an undisclosed Wawa location, Mr. Casey Green joins us. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good, good. You got some different camera stuff going on.
Yeah, super zoom.
I don't know what's going on with that one.
And your mic's a little bit low. Not sure if
that's weird.
you can adjust that or not.
I will.
Okay.
We'd fixed it all right before going live,
and then it goes back to normal as soon as we go live.
Yep.
Terrible.
So, a little rainy day and people banging on the door as I hit go live. I don't know who's there.
Nobody important.
Nobody expected. And it's gonna be an exciting day. There's so models was accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of.
It was.
Neither was a new model, but they were more than one of them.
We got a bunch of folks in the chat already. That's awesome to see. Anders, Derek, Lee, JT. Cool. Hey, everybody.
Good. So, big news of today's show, of course, is the release of the new affordable Model 3 and Model Y. And I don't know if we were expecting to get the 3 along with the Y, but it happened all at once.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was expecting the Y, and vindicated. It is glass, and you can't see through it.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy that they put the glass roof in and then cover it. But one of the reviews that I watched said that actually provides a significant amount of noise dampening, and that's what allowed them to use cheaper glass in the rest of the car to help reduce the price. It's not acoustic glass, it's single pane. So I guess there's one advantage. And then, of course, I'm wondering who's going to do the retrofit where they figure out how to cut the fabric and expose the glass.
Yeah. I thought for sure there would be a couple aftermarketers ready to do that job for sure. But it turns out that they've stymied that by making the glass not clear. So even if you were to cut it back, there is some sort of a coating, or they've got a non-coating on it that prevents it from being able to be seen clear through.
Right. And that probably makes sense, just because if one of the things that one of the other features that having it covered provides is less sunlight getting in, which means you don't have to have the air conditioning run as hard, which helps improve efficiency. So why not have some coating on there that's reflective, at least infrared reflective? Yeah.
So that gives you a little bit better HVAC, both for heat retention and for, as you mentioned, not having to run the HVAC when it's hot and the sun is coming in through the clear glass. So this is, I don't know. There's let's go through it. We got a bunch of information about the car itself and what it has or doesn't have. As mentioned, the first thing was the glass panoramic roof is gone. We've got the speaker system reduced from 15 to 7 speakers. We've got no subwoofer.
That's too bad.
The AM/FM radio is gone. There's no ambient lighting. They've closed the center console and made the piece disappear that separates the driver from the passenger in the front seat. So it's kind of like an open area there. It still has the charger.
The first Model S that I ever drove had that area open, and it felt kind of weird. It's like, wow, hey, you know what? They are just rethinking everything. There's no reason to put stuff here if you don't have to. And then later it came because people asked for it. But yeah, it's there's a lot of my general impression is this is a great way to help make this vehicle more accessible to a wider audience, and that's great. You want to have a low as possible starting price. It's below 40,000 for the Y and a few thousand cheaper for the 3. It's not the thing that they've been talking about that we've all been really looking forward to, and that's a much more affordable vehicle. Like the Chevy Bolt is going to come in under 30,000, and this is under 40. So they're different price points. This is not something that I would buy for a new driver. It's still above that price point. So we've talked about the Chevy Spark, and you know, this is not a competitor for that class of vehicle. It's still for what it is, a reduced price Model 3 and Model Y. That's awesome, but it's not going to give them a big step function. It's not a new vehicle opening up a whole new market. It's just kind of expanding the market they're already in.
Yeah, it is, like you said, it's not going to be the cheapest,
Right.
But what they've done basically to save time and engineering issues is that they've just taken the Model 3 and the Model Y. Like there's no difference to the physical outside of the car except for, you know, fascia and some different looking lights and removal of some tail light reflectors and such. So
Right.
it's the same car that sits on the same line. So the dimensions are the same. There's not any issue that they can have a standard or a Premier. Now they're calling it car rolling through right behind each other. Like it's
Right.
no issue for the manufacturing side of things when it comes to putting that car together. But
that's a good point. Yeah, if they did what I was saying and had a whole new different vehicle, they would not be able to share lines with it and share parts with it, and it would have a lot more infrastructure cost. It'd be a whole bigger lift. So, you know, this gives them the goal of opening the market without all the costs of a whole new product line.
Right. And let's just I guess we could
I keep interrupting you. You're trying to get through the list of what's different about it. And
let's see if we can share the list here. Yeah, I can do that. There we go. So no ambient lighting. Again, we talked about the center console. Power adjusted steering wheel is now flagged as a manual adjusted steering wheel. So
yeah,
I would think that, well, here's a guess, Patrick. Do you think that if you adjust the steering wheel and save your driver profile, that would not count anymore because the steering wheel is now adjusted manually?
correct. It's a complete manual. There's a lock and release in the lower left. You open it, you move it. You can up, down, in, out, and then you lock it back in place. It's physical. There's no motors to control it. It's not like the seats. You can still move through the screen, and then those profiles can be remembered, even if it doesn't have the switches on the side.
Yeah.
But so that does go with your profile. I do not think the steering wheel location goes with the profile.
Yeah. Okay. Suede is gone. HEPA filter, bioweapon defense mode's gone with it. The vegan leather seats, ventilated front seats, second row touchscreen, control vents in the second row, power folding seats in the second row, the heated seats in the second row, LED front and rear indirect light bars are gone. Adaptive high beams, power folding side mirrors, auto dimming side view mirrors, frequency dependent shock absorbers, and auto steer gone.
Yeah, most of those make sense to me. They're trying to make this as affordable as possible and still make it a profitable vehicle for them. Who listens to the radio nowadays? Everybody's streaming stuff, and you can just do Bluetooth from your phone. But there's a few on here that are safety things that I am surprised to see. Like it doesn't have adaptive high beams. Okay, you could end up blinding other oncoming drivers, and I assume that means it doesn't have the matrix headlights that block around oncoming vehicles.
Right.
And that okay, and it doesn't have the dimming side view mirrors. Okay, you don't have that. That means you could get blinded from somebody behind you. Those two are the two that I was surprised to see. All the others make sense to me. We should talk about auto steer as a separate item, but I don't know. What do you think about those two being removed?
Yeah, they are safety features, when again they're looking to save every penny they can on this to lower the cost, but still keep a profit. But I think that taking away some of these safety features is not a good look for them. I think it's something that they should probably have allowed to happen because Tesla, of course, pushes so hard with the ability that they're a safe car company. They put safety first in front of many things, and in this particular case, they did not. One other thing that's not on that list was the rims are steel as opposed to aluminum. So they've changed the wheel rims to steel rims.
Have they done that before, or only done aero covers on ugly wheels before?
They have not done that before. All previous rims with Tesla vehicles have always been aluminum.
Yeah, even the snow tires for Model X were aluminum. Yeah.
So, Patrick, talk a little bit about the auto steer separate
Right.
loss with that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so it has all of the cameras, and you can buy FSD. But if you don't buy FSD, today you still get traffic-aware cruise control, and on vehicles before this, you also got basic autopilot, so it would do lane following. And it didn't have all the advanced features like stopping at stop signs or stoplights. You had to actually, do that part yourself. But now it's just the traffic-aware cruise control, no auto steer. And I guess the thing there is they want you to upgrade to FSD, but this is supposed to be the affordable vehicles. You're not going to spring $8,000 if you're trying to get in as cheap as possible. If you're willing to spend $8,000, you'd probably be moving up to the premium or the long range. So I guess if you're looking at the future is going to be autonomous, and at some point you're just going to be paying for, or at least renting, leasing FSD, then there's no reason to have that interim step. So I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Sorry, I missed a portion of the discussion, but I like the Model 3 standard. The Model Y standard doesn't seem offensive. It just feels that it's pushing towards what they did with the Cybertruck long range, where they might have took away just a little bit too much, but that one still feels like a viable vehicle to me. It's interesting choice considering how little they did to the Model 3 and how much they did to the Model Y. Curious.
Oh, I do want to point out that the range is impressive.
The same.
321 miles on both for the standard. So, I mean,
the same battery.
When in 2016, I bought the long range Model X, which was the 90. They also had the 70, and it only had 250 miles of range. And in 2023, I bought the long range dual motor Model Y. It had 330, which is really close to this 321. So now the standard range has surpassed what used to be the long range. So that is really great to see. And we've talked about how if you have one upgrade to get, you should get the extra range. Well, now that it's over 300 for the standard, I don't know that that's true anymore. That is incredible.
They didn't skimp on the range. I thought for sure there would be some sort of a downgrade, maybe 270 or something along that lines.
Me too.
But they decided that no, range is king still, and 321 is a very impressive number for this price point. So you're not going to skimp there, regardless of what vehicle you get. So that's good. But I have to say that the difference in price, about $5,000 on the Y, a little bit less on the 3. Man, that wouldn't be a hard decision for me to go for the premium over the standard, just for the amount of things that have been taken away. Now, I understand they're trying to open up a new market. They're trying to get the price as low as possible. And maybe some people can't stretch that extra $5,000. I completely understand that. But I don't know. I thought that I was hoping that, I guess, the price point wouldn't be just $5,000 less. It would be somewhere in the area of the old tax credit of $7,500. I was hoping they would be able to break into that amount somewhere in that area. And that's a tall order, I understand. And looking at the long list of things that have been removed from the vehicle, it looks like they still weren't able to get there if they wanted to still make a profit. So there was no information about leasing yet on the vehicle. This is strictly a cash purchase at this point. Maybe there'll be a difference in leasing. I'm not sure. They're still working the details out, and we'll in the coming weeks we may get some information on that. As for the actual production of the vehicle, there was a leak that came from Tesla Berlin about a manager indicating that they believe that the standard range vehicle, in their case a Model Y, will start to be produced in a few weeks. So they've been gearing up behind the scenes, getting ready to make that vehicle there as well. So obviously it will happen in Fremont or Texas, or maybe both. But at this point, it's looking like we are a few weeks away from the start or delivery of those vehicles.
Yeah, this makes sense to go to the U.S. first, since we just lost the tax credit. It's kind of more important to have this lower cost vehicle available here as soon as possible. And then once you've got it designed and all the kinks worked out, roll it out to the rest of the world. Absolutely.
Well, the Model 3 was a little easier to do. It appears to be an extension of what they were doing with the Mexican Model 3. And I guess the reason they're not doing Canada is just because, well, politics.
Tariff.
Why make a car that's going to be still more expensive than the Model Y? So that makes sense.
Derek brings up a good question in the chat. Do we know which battery chemistry it's using?
They're both using the same battery, and it's not LFP.
Right. Yes. So in the past, we've seen standard range using LFP, and this time it's NMC. So that is interesting, especially when we know that Tesla is building a factory to do LFP in the US.
This may be an interim thing, though. You never know.
It could be. They
don't have the factory built yet, and imports from China have tariffs, and so they had to go with NMC to avoid all those issues. And so that's what we have today. So there might be yet a cheaper, lower range version coming out at some point after the factory is complete, however long that takes.
Well, they did something interesting with this one. It is lower range. It's also the first time in a long time, other than Cybertruck, that they've told us the net or gross kilowatt hours. And we're looking at 70 usable, or roughly 70 usable. So that's pretty cool. And the way they achieved it this time, instead of they still cut cells, but instead of cutting cells the way they did last time, where they just took modules out or made modules smaller, they got rid of some of the parallel groups of cells, is what they told our friend Kyle Connor, and that gives you the same voltage, which gives you roughly the same performance, roughly the same charging characteristics, and that's pretty darn cool. They did cut the DC charging from what is it, 250 to 225.
Makes sense if you remove one of the parallel lines. I don't know how many they had, but if you go from 8 to 7, you have to reduce by 12%. Otherwise, you can't take that. The current scales directly with the number of parallel.
Exactly.
Chains,
you spill over, which is a fire, or you abuse the cells, which you're still on the line for warranty. So you already done your math. You don't want to go changing it.
So the BMS would just slow down accordingly. It makes sense. Yeah. And I don't jump to fire. I mean, they're not that dumb.
It's like
if it was managed, sure, but it's well managed.
it's the way that I describe charging to people is it's like filling a bucket, and if you fill it from a fire hose, you have to stop much faster or before you spill, because if you spill in this example, it's a fire. It's not a water on the ground situation. And so when your bucket is smaller, whatever the source, you have to slow it down faster if your objective is to never ever spill a drop.
I'm questioning your communication methods, Casey. Even using a hose, I would not recommend.
Well, what else are you going to fill a large bucket with?
Marbles. Another thing is that the 0 to 60 speed has slowed down a little bit, so it's not as low as the now premier vehicles.
What's interesting about that one, though, it's gonna follow that's gonna happen when you have a smaller battery pack, but it's kind of interesting on the 3. It's the same motor as all the other 3s. They've detuned it in software, rear-wheel drive only, of course, and then the Model Y has the new motor, more efficient, but even slower.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in the Y's case, it comes standard with 18-inch rims as opposed to the 19-inch rims. You can get the 19-inch rims when you order it for an upcharge.
Yeah, but just do it for style. I wouldn't do it because you're going to lose range.
And that's something that people have to anticipate. I know that some people really don't like the look of the Y with 18-inch rims. They feel that it looks a little bit quirky. But that's another thing, is that the rim, the wheel caps are changed as well. So we were talking about their steel rims behind them, and they've also received a new treatment on what the wheel caps look like. So
they're literally moon disc pizza discs this time around. They've got a little hole for the valve stem, and that's it. Everything else, at least it's got a design on it. So it's
got a star design or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not completely visually smooth. It's got some stuff going on there, but this is all the first time they've done that.
It's not like the ones behind me here.
Right.
I was just looking at those
different cuts in them.
Yeah.
These are completely flat.
Yeah, not a single. I couldn't see any single vents other than the only opening I saw was the valve stem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the past, you could pop off the aero covers like Mark has, and there was a kit that you could buy that actually made it look pretty nice. Do you know if that's true with these new 18-inch?
Well, I've seen the underlying rim.
Yeah,
you're going to have a hard time making it look really nice because it's.
Is it the generic steel?
It reminds me of the Canadian Steelies for winter.
That's what I'm saying. The generic one. All right.
But
that's pretty low end.
Yeah. And
they got the off-the-shelf one.
They are definitely made to keep the wheel covers on, in my opinion. That's what they've strived for. So it's
And that's one way to save money, though, because if you're buying the same steel everybody else is,
just don't care, right? They're just
Yeah.
just after the price, and if that's the case, that's the case.
other people just change the wheels right away anyway, because that's a style thing. So that
Yeah,
actually would work out for
so-
those people.
If you say they look like winter steelies, maybe that's the way you go. You buy some nice aftermarket 18-inch, so you still have the range, and then you keep these for your winter tires.
Yep. That
Oh,
certainly could be the case.
Lee brings up a good point there. We saw this from Green. Did they go into detail on this one, the TPMS?
I didn't
did
get
not
any
see
detail
that on the
it.
list.
No.
But yeah, I think you're right. That is it's another thing that they removed that wasn't mentioned in the article that we showed earlier.
So are they doing it exactly like they do the 19 should have sensors? Okay, so they're doing it exactly like they do the tire wear, because they can't not have an alert, otherwise they're in violation of the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards, FMVSS.
Oh,
That's why vehicles got it, because it was a safety concern and added to the things of must have for any vehicle.
Yeah, but if they still warn you, I don't know that it specifies the technology, so that would be interesting.
yeah.
And it better
So
work better than when they got rid of the rain sensors.
Are you saying they're able to tell just from
Rotation.
driving if there's more drag, then they know a tire's low and they could give you an alert? So they're finding some other way besides TPMS to get this information? Because if it's
I hope it's
if it's a
reliable.
federal requirement, then I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
there's
so-
got to be if they've removed them, there has to be a way that they can calculate
Mhm.
based on wheel spin or how long it takes to do a revolution, or there's got to be something that they can calculate and say, you know what, this car is losing air pressure.
Right.
Yeah, when I read the regulation, I didn't read the implementation guide. I read the vehicle must have
Mhm.
an alert for low pressure. I don't remember seeing a technology. So if they're complying, then
Lee,
Something
Lee
new
in
and
the
novel.
chat has indicated that other manufacturers use rotational detection.
oh, so this just goes
He's
beyond what they
not
were
sure
doing with
which
the tire tread.
one.
Yeah.
Maybe Porsche. He's not sure.
Oh,
But,
Porsche.
Okay.
Wow.
Some others have used it, obviously.
Yeah.
So they're able to follow that if that's the case.
Interesting. But I mean,
Yeah.
you've got so much compute on these things, and it's already got an FSD computer that often will not be used. So
And they were already doing tire wear detection, so
yes.
Yeah.
this might also be able to clearly tell if they are low as well.
Yeah. Plus, if it's using the new MCU, then they've got some spare cycles in there. So this would be interesting.
That'd be cool if they could give you the effect of the feature, and you don't have to spend the extra $60 per tire when you buy new tires.
Or change batteries on the things, because that part sucks.
Yeah, but the only thing is, well, would they be able to even calculate that you've only lost 10 psi or 20 psi?
Huh, interesting.
Is it that sensitive?
No,
or
I think
is
it's just
Or would they just see a sudden drop?
low? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
Interesting.
they, if they see the drag go up, effective.
Yeah,
Hmm,
I'd like to
cool.
see both two things here. I'd like to see Monroe and competitors tear down on that part of it, and
Yeah.
I'd like to see anybody who gets the car, does it still have the tire pressure card on the interface or in settings or in service mode? Does it say, hey, these tires are this pressure, and do you have to go a certain speed for that to happen, or does it do like my ancient model and just it'll you have to get up to 18 miles an hour, and then it'll store it until you get to 18 miles an hour again. That's just to wake them up, and as long as the car is still in a running state, I don't know when they go back to sleep. They know they go to sleep when you turn the car off. I don't know beyond that when they go to sleep, because they can stay on for quite a while.
Yeah, it's funny. You know that they've figured all this stuff out and walked through the same discussion we're having of how are we going to address this? How are we going to manage that? It's just we don't get all that information on day one.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see what they chose to do their savings, because in some cases, like on the Model 3, they changed very little, and on the Model Y they changed quite a lot, and on Cybertruck everybody agreed they changed too much. But
Yeah.
rather than tweak it, they just pulled that model. So I'm curious they try again and try to get a cheaper Cybertruck that keeps the essence of what people are expecting, like these two vehicles do, or that one has already been relegated to other models with the SX and Semi. So I don't know. That's curious. How much more effort they put into it. But these ones, the Model 3, they did a stellar job. It looks like the one to recommend. And then the Model Y, if you've got more stuff to haul, or people who have issues bending in and out of a sporty sedan, then obviously you'd want to go with the Y because it's got the risers. The removal of Mark, you haven't been pushing that lumbar enough, have you? Removed all of the buttons, buttons from the seats.
Yeah, that is interesting that they're all gone now. But again, okay, I can see the utility of using it on the screen.
Yeah, and they're
definitely see that.
Their point about the cloud
sure
profile
that there are less motors in the seat than than my Model 3.
Yes.
But I would think that that goes with Tesla's reaction for looking at the data, that no one uses this, or it's very rarely used besides one guy in Southern Ontario. So there's really no reason to keep it. So I can definitely see that may be some changes, as trigger changes for the motors in those seats.
Yeah. The other thing, they pointed out that they are doing it because of Cloud Profile. I'm sure that was an excuse, but it's a good one, because Cloud Profile, it's nice. The amount of loaners I have that have had it does well. I did expect it to transfer across vehicles, models, but when I got into a Model Y, it knew who I was and it knew some of my settings, but it didn't attempt to adjust the seat and mirrors based on what it learned about me from various Model 3s. So that was confusing and disappointing, because those are the same car. The X and the S not doing it, that makes some sense to me, because they are a completely different geometry and parts, even on the newer ones. And the Cybertruck was a test drive, so they didn't load my profile into that one. So
now, what'll be interesting is that obviously Tesla's not going to break down the figures of sales when it comes to these standard cars, but we're going to get some visual clues for these cars, because of course the fronts and the backs are different. In the case of the Y, they're completely different.
Yeah.
In the case of the 3, less so. But,
not much different on the 3 exterior.
Is there anything on the front different on the 3?
It still has the matrix lights, but I do believe it's a different front, at least in the performance.
They've removed the Tesla logo on the Y from the front. I don't know if they removed it from the 3 as well.
But in the US, they never had it on the front since Juniper.
So
unless it's the Chinese build, those ones would have Juniper, and depending on what line it came from, they would have the Tesla logo, because apparently they have both there.
Interesting.
Yeah, and we got to use up all these T's. We're not going to store them.
Just slap them on until that bin's empty.
Put them on your lunchbox, like.
Yeah, until we get to the 10-year requirement, we use these up. Get rid of these things.
So it will be interesting to see if we start seeing the Ys, at least, are very visually able to see between the Premier and the Standard. If we start seeing them on the roads, if that becomes a popular choice or not. Mm-hmm. But again, based on the difference of $5,000, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to open up things. It's a test for Tesla. I've heard some of the influencers talking about when they were at the site, Joe Tegmeyer talking about pricing, that it was very much in flux, right down to the wire, that they had chosen what the price was going to be. So there certainly was some debate inside of Tesla as to what the proper marketing and pricing should be for that vehicle, or for both vehicles. And obviously they came to their decision But maybe this is not set in stone, depending on what type of reaction sales will be to these cars. So,
Yeah, I'm
but
really looking forward to the next financial call, because there are going to be a lot of questions. How does the margin on this vehicle compare to the others? How many of these are selling? And we'll probably learn a lot in January when that happens.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they made them to be just loss leaders to get you in the door. They look like they're supposed to be viable products, and they did a good job.
Right, but like Mark said, it's tempting to move up the line. Oh, I get this and this and this and this, and it's only 5,000 more. The price walk, as they call it. That's the whole reason the medium popcorn exists. To get you to go. It's a small step from
medium to large.
The medium, and medium to large is an even smaller step. So yeah.
Absolutely. So we will keep our eyes on this, and there's obviously going to be more information leaked about this over the next coming weeks, because Tesla seems to do that. That they can't get it all out on day one. They will release some nuggets of information as time goes along. So we'll certainly keep an eye on that and report as we see fit.
Mm-hmm.
Other big story of the week is FSD 14.1 was starting a rollout. This is not to the general public. This is to the small
Elon's special friends
family that's getting this access. And they indicate that 14.2 will be along shortly in the coming week or two. So this is the start of the rollout of the new version. And it'll be interesting to see if with the move from 13 to 14, will they introduce another free trial to let people see what they're missing out on? That's a distinct possibility. They've done that a few times, but it will be interesting to see as 14 becomes available to most of us, as to whether or not we've got that half step back and 2 steps forward after a little while, as Patrick mentions, because of course they're trying to catch up on other things and make sure everything that was running smoothly is running smoothly in the new version, and then they have to make adjustments, and sometimes that causes some issues that have to be resolved quickly.
Yeah. Regarding the question from Matt about what they did with the roof, I'm assuming Model Y. The reason that makes sense to me on that is they've set this vehicle up to be a glass roof vehicle since its engineering and re-engineering, and to reintroduce a steel roof or aluminum roof, actually in this case, would be it'd be a little weird, because like even on the Model S years ago, they got rid of the aluminum roof as they were tweaking it, and they just made it a fixed piece of glass. But what you can do is you can go with a much cheaper glass, one that's not necessarily going to always be Tesla quality for like visual clarity and heat rejection and etc. So what they can do in bulk and cheaply is just say, hey, glass supplier, is can we get the roof at this price, and can we get them blacked out? That way we don't get any calls about this one is not good enough when I bring up my micrometer to see if the paint is up to me on my inspection, and then they don't have any complaints about it being not say substandard, just not of the quality,
not top quality.
Exactly. And then also being probably an inconsistent yield is another concern, because even if it was just crummier, they could live with that if they were all the same, and I'm guessing that they probably won't be.
Right. So back to FSD. That was our current topic.
Oh, okay. We all the way switched. So FSD, the special friends thing, from the people I've watched, on like 3X, it was another nice build, but Patrick will be able to experience it. But Mark and I are in the dust for quite some time. I'll see it when we get a new computer. But what I do hope to see is a version 13 Lite or something like that, because surely they've had some improvements they were able to do to get some of the advancements they've had in the past 2 years now into the legacy cars while we wait on them to make a computer, and they won't have to continue to do this after they make the computer, but it's not a nice look to skip us entirely if they go that route. But
well, you will get an upgrade at some point. It's just a question of when.
Yeah.
And is it going to be hardware 4, 5?
It'll be hardware more than 3.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. More than 3.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll play the game of who's going to upgrade their car first. Like just get rid of the car, and then how many are left, and how are they going to handle that?
Every day they wait, there's less and less of those people.
But what they don't know is I'm just going to add a car. They still owe it to me.
You're going to pick up a second and third one and just have them in
however many.
Exactly.
I found that the roof on mine's got a little bit of peel behind the Falcon glass. I thought it was all glass up there. Nope. But the increased parameters and the increased time on it, and the fact that it shares some architecture with Optimus is good to see on the current versions. And eventually you folks will join us in Legacy Land as well, because not only is AI 5, it's got to be entering production now. AI 6 is sounds like it's about ready to finish tape out. So welcome to the club. But I'm excited to try this one out, and I would love to see some lightweight version hit the other cars.
Yep.
Well, we will see, and that note, of course, is for us to start watching the airways for those friends and families as they start to produce some videos to let us see what new features are there or how it handles the old features. But
it looks competent. Yeah.
I did want to just touch on one other thing before I got to another major story, which was, of course, Model 3 in Europe. They're providing Tesla's providing a kit for the turn stock to be added.
Yes.
So if you had one of those older Model 3 Highlands that did not have the turn signal, which was all of them until recently, you can spend some money and get yourself a turn signal from Tesla. They'll probably even install it. This is Europe. We'll have to see if that rolls out to any place else.
Yeah, did they complain a lot more than us? Is that why they're getting it first?
Must have been.
Must have, yeah.
The way you called it out sounds free. Is it free?
No.
Okay.
It is 600 and some euros, so over 700 US.
Yeah.
How much does it annoy you?
That's exactly it. How much?
So if they do that, do you still have it on the wheel, or does it go like the current ones that have those buttons have changed to something else? I imagine that could be part of the reason why the cost is so high. Not just to discourage you from doing it.
Yeah, so that's, I guess, the difference between having Tesla do it versus a retrofit third party. Or a third party is probably going to just add the stock, and they wouldn't change the thumb buttons at all. But with Tesla doing it, they could change those to give them some other purpose.
Yeah, they might. This also allows them to get back in the good graces with that series of German the words escape me now. The driving schools. They dropped them like it's hot because of the lack of turn signal stock, and they said this is unacceptable for us. We can't teach people with this.
No,
did it lower some safety score?
That stock update does come with a new wheel.
Oh, okay. That explains some of that.
That explains some of the cost of the 600 plus euro price tag.
I see. Yeah.
At this point, though,
that's
now
not what I expected.
The whole wheel makes sense. Yeah, because I was going to say they could. It's not going to be labor sensitive if they could just replace the button module while they're in there, because they're going to have to take the wheel off anyway and replace the steering nut. They don't have to, but they have to.
So we'll
the
have
service
to
manual
see
says
if
to.
Once it's in Europe, if others complain loud enough that it gets pushed to other jurisdictions. But we'll definitely be keeping our eye on that. I do want to move along a little bit quickly because one of the other major stories of the week, and I wanted you two to comment on this one for sure, which was Model Y Performance was released, and surprise, surprise, it comes with vehicle to load abilities.
Not just vehicle to load. That's what it has today. it comes with PowerShare. They said 11 point whatever kilowatts. So with a software update in Q4.
So explain
Q1 or
that
2 of
to the audience,
2026.
Casey. What does
Yes.
vehicle to load
So
provide them with?
the vehicle to load today gives you the adapter that you were able to purchase for standard range Cybertruck. Long range Cybertruck with the rear wheel drive, where you plug into the NAX port and it gives you two 120 volt outlets at 20 amps each.
We
Which is
could dive
nice.
deeper into this in Express episode if you want.
Yeah, let's do that.
That's true. We will go further, but
Yeah.
it is interesting that just that particular vehicle was
just that one.
just the performance, right?
Right.
Nothing else.
But
that's odd.
Some folks who did the digging said that it uses the same part number as the current Model Ys, so there's speculation that it may come back to the other vehicles. And then again on the full 11 kilowatts, and Tesla has confirmed to Electrek and others that is going to be PowerShare capable later. And PowerShare is where you can plug it in and run your whole house. And like Patrick said, we'll get into
that's
more
what a lot
details
of
on
us are kind of waiting for, is looking for
Mhm.
from the recent talk given by Jeff Dawn
Mhm.
of Tesla fame. When will these cars all be able to use their battery packs to share with the grid or pick up from the grid, depending on what the grid requires or what the owner of the car allows to happen with its integration to the grid? And that is something that could be a game changer for utilities, for countries as a whole, as electric vehicles gain that ability.
Yeah, Brian and I at Futuraza, well, not I at Futuraza, but Brian at Futuraza and myself on my show, we talked for a minute about the implications of what if Tesla opens this up and says, "Hey, we'll put Autobidder on it and we'll take a VIG." That is going to change power grids worldwide if they do that.
Yeah, because isn't that available now with some of the utilities? But if Tesla could become the utility for all the cars that want to opt into the program and have the ability that the utility plays along with it.
Yeah,
like they could bring millions of cars to bear with the equivalent of 5 power walls each in them.
Minimum, yeah.
Yeah.
And you saw what they did with the virtual power plants that up in the Northeast and the version of the VPP that Patrick's in. That's already making changes to the world, and it's powerful, it's aggressive, and it works. But imagine what you could do with, everybody's got 5 instead of there's 1 or 2, and they have a solid connection. I mean, not that the Powerwall wouldn't have a solid connection, but a larger connection, and so you can put all that down. And if they put a proper interface on it, like I need this much to get to work tomorrow, and you may use up to this much, and then please, I have a trip tomorrow. Make sure I have this much for the trip. That interface would be. It's going to be phenomenal.
I think we're going to cut that conversation short at this point because we would like to make this a full segment, which we will do later in the week. So stay tuned for that. Mm-hmm. With that, I think we will wrap up tonight's show because we're getting close to that hour. And we wanted to, of course, thank everyone in the chat room that's joined us. Any shout outs from you, Casey, this week?
Catch us for the Express shows that we've alluded to. You never know how many we'll do. 1, 2, 7. Probably not 7.
Not 7.
turn on. It couldn't be. It would be up to 6, but we're not anticipating even that many. Turn on the bell on YouTube here to get alerted for any of the ones that are outside of our usual 2, and it'll be fun. Hit the thumbs up, all the stuff, and then catch me and friends. Like Brian came through on this Sunday, and Patrick and Mark have both been through, and you never know who will show up for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends on Sundays at about 1:20 Eastern p.m. Over at youtube.com/Casey Green. I hope I'm putting it the right way. I can't see myself. And x.com/gcustom. And that puts us there.
Very good. Patrick, shoutouts?
As always, I'm with the Oregon Electric Vehicle Association. You can find us at oeva.org, and I blog occasionally at carswithcords.net, where I write about my future free from fossil fuels. And up there today is a timely article because it's talking about vehicle to grid versus stationary storage like a Powerwall.
Timely topic.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button, helps us out immensely. And again, thanks to Derek, Lee, Moon, Matt, JT. Who else was also in the...
Matt.
Derek. I mentioned Derek already. RC Robinson was with us today.
Budget Audiophile.
Yeah, we thank everyone for joining us today. And we'll get together next time. And together we'll find out what's happening in the Tesla life.
Indeed.
Stay positive. Test negative.
I just hit the OK button. So it just starts over. Thanks, Lee. Catch y'all later.